This is Math 2 5.7 notes. That's Unit 5, Lesson 7. You should have received this handout in class. If not, you can print it out yourself from my website. Okay, before we start here, I'd like to quickly just do a side problem in this little bubble. If I were to give you the x and y axis, the coordinate plane like this, and if I were to plot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a point 6, 0 is how I would label that point, because I went right 6 and I did not go up or down, so it is 6, 0. I'd like you to do the same. And I'd like you to also go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and plot that point would be 0, 3, because you did not go right or left, but you went up 3. 6, 0, 0, 3. Now, if I told you to make a rectangle from those 2 points, connect over and down, what would this ordered pair here be? Well, it would make sense that this length here is 6, so I went right 6, so the x value would be 6, just like it is here. And then how far up did I go? Well, I connected from this dot here horizontally over this way, and that was up 3, so the point here must be 6, 3. Over 6, up 3. All right, that's the kind of stuff we're going to be doing here, but with letters. So, and we're also going to find the midpoint. And it says do not introduce any new variables, so I can't just make them up and say, oh, that's x and y. I have to use the letters that are given. So according to this image, this is a rectangle, it's K0, which means this length here is K. 0Q means this length here is Q. I went over K with the height of Q. So K, comma, Q would be that answer. And this is at the origin, so that's just 0, 0. And then to find the midpoint of 0, oh, you know what, let's label these. I'm going to put A, B, C, D, just so we can, A, B, C, D. So we can label them over here and it'd be a little easier. Midpoint of AC. So that's this diagonal connecting from corner A to corner C. We're going to find the length, or the midpoint of that diagonal. Okay, midpoint formula, you add your x's and divide by 2. You add your y values, divide by 2. So that's 0 plus k over 2 and q plus 0. 0 plus k is just k over 2. Q plus 0 is just q over 2. They don't divide by 2, so this here, that ordered pair, is your answer for the midpoint of AC. All right, let's now do the midpoint of this one here. What is that? BD. So we're going to connect from corner B to corner D and find the midpoint. Again, you add your x values and divide by 2. Add your y values, divide by 2. So we're here, so that's 0 plus k. And 0 plus q. So on this one, we did 0 plus k and q plus 0. Now we're doing 0 plus k and 0 plus q, dividing by 2. And that is 0 plus k is just k over 2. 0 plus q is just q, and it's over 2. Neither one of those divide by 2, so this is your final answer for the midpoint of segment BD. All right, let's try the next one. This one gives me that this point here is A0, which means I went out a length of A. This one here is the origin, so that one's easy. It's just 0, 0. Now this point here from 0 went down how far? It went down r, which means the length is r, but the point is 0, negative r, because it went downward. So if I, for this point, this corner here, I go to the right how far? A. And then I go down how far? R. That would be A, comma, negative r because it's going down. A, negative r. Again, the length here is a, so a and then negative r. And let's go ahead and label these A, B, C, D. Label this A, B, C, D, and we're going to find the midpoint of AC and the midpoint of BD because we're finding the midpoint of the diagonals. Okay, I'm just going to put MP for midpoint of AC is 0 plus A divide by 2 at the y's. That's 0, that's negative r. 0 plus negative r divide by 2. 0 plus A is simply A over 2, comma, 0 plus negative r is just negative r. Remember, 0 is the additive identity. When you add by 0, it does not change the value. Divide by 2, neither one of those can reduce, so this here is the answer. All right, I'm going to put MP again for midpoint. This time, I already did AC, I'm going to do BD. BD would be 0 plus A, divide by 2, and negative r plus 0, divide by 2, and 0 plus A is A, then over 2. Negative r plus 0 is just negative r over 2, and that is the midpoint for BD. Now, the reason you can see they came out the same for these two as well as for these two, those two midpoints were the same, and those two. And that's because in parabolas, we know the diagonals bisect each other, and in a rectangle, we know the diagonals are congruent. Remember, we talked about all the little isosceles triangles in there. So if these two lines are equal, and they cut each other in half, the midpoint is going to be the same. Okay, I am going to have you try this one on your own. You are going to find that point, and go ahead and label them now. A, B, C, D, and you're going to find the midpoint of AC, and you're going to find the midpoint of BD. All right, so then finish that on your own, and you get an answer over here, and you're going to compare. Because this is a rectangle, those two should come out to be the same. All right, let's flip it over to the back side and take a look at number 4. Find the coordinates of P and Q without using any new variables, and then find the midpoint of DC and AB. Okay, so P and Q. P should be easy, that is 0, 0. So P is simply 0, 0. Q. This time they gave us letters, so we don't have to worry about labeling them A, B, C, D. All right, but what is Q? Let's see. How far right did I go from 0? I went to the right P or to the right K? When I move right and left, that's the X value. So from here to here, I moved right P, lowercase p, and then from here up, I went up K. Can you see that? If this point here is 0K, that means I did not go right and left, but I went up a height of K, which means I go up a height of K. Okay, and that should be marked there. That is a right triangle, a right angle. Same thing here. And we should know it because it's the origin that has to be a right angle. All right, so what is this? I go right P and I go up K. So Q is PK. Let's find the midpoint of TR. Midpoint of TR is going to be T and R, that's 0 plus P, divide by 2, K plus 0, divide by 2, 0 plus P, K plus 0, 0 plus P is P over 2, K plus 0 is K over 2, so the midpoint of TR is P over 2, comma, K over 2. 2. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing again for this time PQ. So which one did we just do? We just did TR. Now we're going to do PQ. Okay, so midpoint of PQ is, we add the x's together, 0 plus p, divide by 2. We add the the x's together, 0 plus k, divide by 2. 0 plus p stays p, it's over 2. 0 plus k is just k, it is over 2. So the midpoint of PQ is p over 2 and k over 2. Again, why did they come out to be the same? Because it is a rectangle. All right, I am going to have you do this one on your own. Find points A, C, D, and then find the midpoint of DC and the midpoint of AB. And we'll check together in class. That is it for this lesson.